And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. The intrepid crew of the NSEA Protector! Yeah!
Tim was the only cast member that was already cast.
It turns out that I have put in peril entire civilization, which I do all the time. Very good at that.
The perfect thing about Tim, he's gonna kill me for saying this, he has just finished a very successful television series. And it was over. So it felt to me like there are aspects in Tim's life that he could draw on completely for this character.
Never surrender. You have no idea how ridiculous that is, how powerful you become when you're number one on TV.
With Jason, with Tim Allen's character, when they pitched this concept to me, you know, it's about this guy, and he hates being this character that he was in his TV show. I said, no, he has to love it. These were his glory days.
Activate the Omega-13.
And action.
Never give up, never surrender. I love sci-fi, so I took this thing very seriously. I played this as real. I've always wanted to be a commander of a spaceship, period. That's me. I'm cheesy sci-fi guy, love Star Trek series, love to be Captain Kirk.
Watching Tim Allen embody this character, it was very, very funny. It was very Captain Kirk, especially if you get to watch him, you know, when he does the bit when he's on the planet, gets his shirt off and he's doing the rolls and this.
I've become friends with Bill Shatner since this because I like the guy. He said, "You did me in the chair," and I said, "Well, actually, I did Yul Brynner in Ten Commandments. That's where I got that posture." Moses, 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 would you bring me dressed in the garb of a Hebrew slave? And Shatner was like, defeated. What? And it wasn't you. There's times it was you when I turned it and it was all this activity.
Tim Allen was very right for that part. You know, there was something very right about Tim Allen on that part.
I don't like it. It was too easy.
He also is kind of an expert at playing an ass, which is sort of a prerequisite for this character.
Tim's dramatic moments are so good.
There needed to be great empathy for that character. The setup for that is extremely important, that he discovered that he's considered a joke in the bathroom.
These guys haven't had a real acting job for 20 years. This is all they've got.
He really was a big drinker and maybe an alcoholic, and he full of himself, but sad because he really didn't do much in his life.
His fellow actors, which he's been trying to ignore, actually dislike him immensely.
It was cute when I didn't know you.
That his whole life has been just this stupid, silly, television show.
You can solve the world's problems in makeup trailers. I mean, they know everything. And if you could build a movie about the stories people have from Spartacus on, about actors and actresses that are tough to work with. And I brought all this with me to Jason. I would annoy these other actors purposely as the character, because I think that it's impossibly weird that there are people like this. Don't look at the actor. That's the one I always used to like. There are stars that don't want extras looking at them. M&Ms had to all be turned the same color, I don't know what, but I said, is there seriously people like that? Whew! Your commander is on deck.
He would come into the makeup trailer, they'd be too busy for him or something, and he'd go, "That's okay, I'm just number one on the call sheet, no problem. Just number one on the call sheet."
It takes as much effort on all of our parts in the movie business to make a good one as a bad one. I'll search sci-fi blogs, and if it weren't for Galaxy Quest, I think people would burn me. I mean, literally the virulence of the anti-me. A lot of people like, of course, the movies I do, but I'll go on blogs of people that are very critical about movies, and I'm crap, and crap on a high level on certain blogs until it gets to Galaxy Quest, and then it totally mitigates every piece of crap that people think I've done. They go, but he did that Galaxy Quest.
The next task for me, and I felt this was important, was not to cast comic actors. I wanted to play it straight. I wanted it to have dramatic integrity, even though it's a comedy. So the next person I went after, and it was the first person I got, was Alan Rickman. I don't know why he said yes.
Well, I mean, it's like Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, and Alan Rickman together at last. I did grow up, as it were, inside the Royal Shakespeare Company and other similar environments.
I played Richard III.
So I know what he's going through on some level.
Of course, I was an actor once. Damn it, now look at me. Look at me!
I remember when Sigourney and I were sitting at the autograph table at the convention.
Excuse me, pardon me. Crew member, come.
By Grabthar's hammer, by the sons of Warvan, I shall avenge you.
And I remember saying, this is a bit too close for comfort. But there were constant images and moments where you just thought, no, I've lived this.
By Grabthar's...
He was sort of the quintessential actor who wanted to do Shakespeare and great things and had sort of fallen on hard times. I thought he really beautifully encapsulated the nobility of the actor's dream and his total disregard for what he had to do.
By Grabthar's hammer, you shall be avenged.
Yeah!
I think what that's called is good writing, you know? It tells you what to do. You've got this ghastly phrase which kind of makes him die inside every time he has to say it.
Alexander at having to do his, by Grabthar's hammer when he's opening an electronics store, that's sort of the lowest of the low. He didn't like it in the first place when it was popular.
Take it from us.
With 3 balloons and 4 bystanders and having to come out with his wretched catchphrase, all he can really think of is, the fact that he has played Richard III.
By Grabthar's hammer. What a savings.
All right. Yeah, let's hear it.
That was tough to get that line out without laughing.
Alan would sit between takes and just sort of sit in his chair and not use any energy. While Tim was off, just bouncing around saying who'd laugh. And it was usually Daryl and I usually giving him audience, and Alan wouldn't budge. He wouldn't laugh.
Alan Rickman, that dude was so incredible. He would get hot with me and Tim because we would play around so much, and he would be like, you guys need to be a little more professional. And he would go off on us, and then at the end of the day, he would say, come in my dressing room, let's have some wine. So it was like, but it was all love. It was all love.
He and Sigourney would do these exercises. They're really very veteran actors that need processing time, none of which I need. By the time that movie was over, I hope Al and I became much better friends because he says, all that screaming about your farts is really your process. And I should not be any more disturbed about that process than people that go in a room go, la, 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 la. I said, oh, no, the guy gets me.
I'm sure that there's some bit of me that becomes the character I'm playing on some level. And certainly Alexander Dane never found Tim Allen's character remotely funny. Just a pure irritant.
Systems register functional.
All systems are working, Commander.
Then Sigourney, which was just, I couldn't believe people started signing up.
Sigourney's character, there's this long history of women in science fiction who, basically have nothing to do. The irony of casting Sigourney Weaver is that she played one of the first just totally strong, kick-ass science fiction women.
Well, it's funny because they didn't want me. My agent said they're doing this kind of science fiction parody, but they don't want anyone who's ever been in a science fiction film. And I said, well, that's silly, because if anyone can parody a science fiction film, it's moi.
And Sigourney Weaver would put on that wig, and she would get kind of flirtatious. And it would change her whole personality, that wig.
I felt she was a very natural beauty, and I felt that it was very natural to her to want to show off these assets.
A and B, common mark?
She was no longer Ripley from Alien. You know what I mean?
Ripley. Gosh, they're universes apart.
Well, she has traditionally, in those movies, been a tough sort of, take no prisoners character.
It's almost like if that was Sigourney Weaver's history, that she had to be in these movies where she didn't get to do anything. She had to repeat the computer. How frustrated she must be as an actor.
So when she does finally erupt in this movie, it's very gratifying just on that level.
Computer, is there a replacement beryllium sphere on board?
Negative. No reserve beryllium sphere exists on board.
No, we have no extra beryllium sphere on board.
That is really getting annoying.
Look, I have one job on this lousy ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
I have one thing to do, and I'm gonna do it. And then cut to us, oh, boy, that was it. And where did the boobs come from?
I wanted her to be the American dream. I could have been Tawny. I loved her. She was like my blonde sister, and it was really fun being blonde. I knew it wouldn't read like I really did.
Sigourney Weaver was inspired for that role. She loved playing that part.
In hindsight, I realized that Sigourney was probably in character a lot because she was carrying it around. The minute she put that blonde wig on,
They pretty much agreed to my being blonde right away. She wasn't a blonde.
And she came up with almost all of it. And the first thing she said to me is, I want to be a blonde.
What I remember about it is that I was so popular. I would walk down the studio avenue, and all these, mostly guys, of course, would come say, "Hey, good morning, how are you?" And I'd say, "Well, I'm fine, how are you?"
She left one night at the end of shooting without going to the makeup and hair trailer. She went out and hit the streets. I think she was at the Four Seasons or something like that. She said she had a great time.
Actually, I felt like I was playing my secret self in Galaxy Quest.
Computer, we're gonna need some privacy. Can you?
You know, that part of myself that I'd repressed for 4 times playing Ripley, who's so courageous and so professional, and people tease me that I am actually a blonde, a dumb blonde, you know.
That was a hell of a thing.
Tony, he's actually my neighbor still, and I see him all the time, and I just think Tony is brilliant.
What's wrong with them? I don't know. Come on.
When I sat down with Tony, we were trying to figure out, you know, references for this character. It was David Carradine from Kung Fu.
When I read it, I assumed it was, you know, for an Asian actor. I said, look, I'm not gonna do this. This isn't really a part I should do. I'm not gonna play an Asian guy, but I'll play a guy who plays an Asian guy.
The thing that cracked me up the most, there's a moment in the Bad television show when we're shooting it where Tony Shalhoub runs up next to the captain and strikes a pose that made Tim laugh so much that it took us 4 hours to get that one shot. Tony's part was the least sketched out. It was the thinnest.
yeah, from day one, he's like going, what am I gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. He just brought a bag in one day, and he's like, I think he's in here. I think my character's in here. And he comes in with that bag. Just that greasy bag. You don't know what's in there. Maybe some cheese or something. He's just carrying around that bag. Suddenly he found his character. He found his character through that bag.
Hi, guys. Listen, they're telling me that the generators won't take it. The ship is breaking apart and all that. Just FYI. We wanted to come up with something that was a kind of a counterpoint to those more stock Star Trek-y type characters. You know, there's always a tech guy. And he's supposed to be able to, you know, fix a turbo generator with chewing gum and a rubber band or something. We thought, well, you know, it would be sort of interesting if this tech guy was completely useless. We might be able to get there if we reconfigure the solar matrix in parallel for endothermic propulsion. What do you think? You know, the thing you need most on one of these ships and in this kind of a story, you don't have it.
It wasn't that he was stoned, he was just kind of completely burnt out.
We exploited that idea again and again. When we're in the spaceship and we're going to the planet to get the beryllium sphere. Can't believe I'm remembering these words. And everyone's kind of, you know, white-knuckling it. And there's Fred Kwan just like, you know, eating snacks on the way. Like he's flying from Burbank to Sacramento or something. He was a bit of a lead ball, you know, chained to their ankles.
Well, you just watch him in sort of dumb admiration, really, with what he can do with nothing. There was a real sense of an inner life there. And I hope that was true of everybody.
No pressure, huh? I'm glad I ain't the commander.
Laredo, take us out.
Excuse me?
The great thing about Chill, Daryl Mitchell, he cracked me up whenever he opened up his mouth. When I first read Galaxy Quest, you know, the original character as a kid,
Exiting the time not now, sir. We made it.
it just clicked for me. I just thought it would be Daryl.
I played a fighter pilot by the name of Tommy Laredo.
Well, I had to take the film because, I mean, you're talking about a black man in outer space, which is very rare. And I don't die.
He cracks me up.
He went for it.
That scene, you know, where Tommy's taking out the ship for the first time, you know, he was like, take him out. And everyone's so excited.
It was just like, whoa, you know, and flying the spaceship. And it's like, how cool would this be?
That is really, and everyone's kind of leaning. That's a great moment.
Okay, you gotta move to the right. Move more to the right.
Would you
Stay
sit your
parallel.
ass down? Sit, move. You want to drive this thing?
The scrape. Daryl Mitchell he's a great guy, man. He was so funny.
Chill sort of, more than anybody else, set a context on the show because he's just so larger than life and just so happy. And he was always laughing louder than anybody. It was usually at something Tim said, and then I would sort of go see what was going on. And that joy just reminded even people like Sigourney and Alan and Tim that it's all good, you know?
You probably don't remember me, do you? It's the sunglasses, right? I was on the show in '82, episode 81. Got killed by a lava monster before the first commercial.
And then I had known of Sam from my New York days in sort of the independent world and always loved Sam Rockwell.
It's gonna be a hoot. A space hoot.
Sam Rockwell is a guy who was a minor character on the show, and now he's worried that he's going to get killed because he's the expendable character.
I changed my mind. I want to go back.
He insisted on auditioning where he cried for about 10 minutes because he was so scared. And it was just hysterical.
I was very busy trying to get very, very scared, and I was getting very emotional. And yet, at the end of the day, I knew that everybody was just going to laugh at it, which was a little disheartening because basically somebody's laughing at your tragedy. That's what comedy is, I guess. I don't know.
You're not gonna die on the planet, guy.
I'm not? What's my last name?
It's, I don't know.
Nobody knows. Do you know why? Because my character isn't important enough for a last name. Because I'm gonna die.
We all thought he had the best part in the world.
We all know that character from countless movies. He knows what his role is, you know. He's lucky to have been in one episode. The rest of the cast don't even remember him, you know. He's supposed to say a couple lines and he gets killed pretty quickly on. His character, crewman number 6, really underscores the brilliance of Bob Gordon's script.
He's very paranoid, but he's almost always right.
He knows the show backwards and forwards and knows that if the blue babies come out, they're going to be dangerous.
We're all standing behind the thing, and we're seeing the little blue babies there. And everyone's saying, oh, they're cute, they're cute.
Did you guys ever watch the show? Did you guys even watch the show?
Oh, man, I hit that deck every time I see that part.
Are we doing episode 81 or
It's
not?
just a rough plan, guy. What difference does it make if it's episode 81 or not?
Because I died on episode 81!
He just sort of walked and talked and he would steal a scene. He's such a good actor.
You construct a weapon. Look around you. Can you form some sort of rudimentary lathe?
I did watch Star Trek, and I was a big fan of the Alien films.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
I ripped off my whole character from Bill Paxton in Aliens.
Big surprise.
A little bit of Michael Keaton in Night Shift. And I would ask Sigourney about Bill Paxton. I said, you know, what did he do? Did he get really, how did he get so, he was so scared. He always seemed so scared. Because that's why I think Bill Paxton is so funny in Aliens, because he's really freaking out, you know, I mean, he's really scared, you know. So I really maintain that it would not be funny unless the stakes were high.
There's a red thingy moving toward the green thingy.
What?
Because when he saw the red thingy coming to the green thingy, there were takes where he was weeping in fear. Are you okay, buddy? Are you okay?
I think we're the green thingy.
I hate to break it to you, Jason, but I don't know how to shut down a neutron reactor, and unless you took a learning annex course I don't know about, I'm pretty sure you don't know how to shut down a neutron reactor either.
No, I don't. But I know someone who does. Hello? Anybody there? Hello?
Hello?
And then there's just Justin Long, who's, you know, was fantastic. I think that was the first thing, one of the early things Justin ever did. He was young, 17 or 18, I think.
Well, I play a character named Brandon Weegar,
And Brandon's a big fan of the show. Some may say he's a nerd, a dork, or what have you, Nimrod.
I was so nervous going into the audition that it kind of really helped. I mean, I was, you know, because that's who the character was. He was kind of a bit of a stutter, and just like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Boogie Nights, I remember I was obsessed with at the time.
Okay. What's your name, son? Brandon?
You were just so rooting for him, all of us, and it's amazing to be sort of at the beginning of somebody's career like that.
Who? Justin who?
Excuse me, Commander.
At the convention, there were scenes where I would say like, yes, in episode 14 of the Magadar Query, there was a bit of that kind of militant, I know everything geekiness that he had.
As I was saying, in the Quasar dilemma, remember you used the auxiliary of deck B for. Could you get deck B for gamma override?
I remember doing it and thinking maybe I was going it was a little too broad, or I was going a little too far with it, and sort of voiced that concern to Dean.
Hadn't even gotten to the relevant conundrum.
He said, I got to show you something. You got to watch this. And he gave me a copy of this documentary called Trekkies. And he said, watch this tonight and talk to me tomorrow. Came in the next day and Dean said, well, what'd you think? And I said, I feel like I'm not going far enough.
Justin, you say Justin Long? As in Longfellow or Long? Justin Long, Justin.
I'm not a complete brain case, okay?
He knows it's not real, but it is real as well.
Oh my God, I knew it. I knew it, I knew it!
The first day of shooting any movie, it was all so bizarre for me, which kind of helped because the scene is about this kid whose whole world is sort of blown. It was not unlike what I was going through, you know? It was overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's a good kid. No, Justin and I are very good friends. And
tremendous. It's tremendous.
It's hard to believe. 10 years ago, we did that movie.
Has it been 10 years? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's awesome.
Activate the Omega-13 device.
It's not an obvious combination of players. You say, what kind of movie would Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver be doing together? We worked with a really inspired casting director, Debbie Zane.
It's a real collection of characters. I mean, they're really quite different from one another.
This is an extraordinary group of actors. I had trouble trying to decide who was really stealing this movie, because every day it seemed like one other actor was doing it.
The film needed those different energies. And just look in different corners of the frame as well. That's the other thing. There's something going on with somebody. And Dean somehow caught a lot of it.
You're watching these actors watching the performances of these other actors. We couldn't believe what these other, the people around us were actually getting away with.
We really kind of had a blast doing it.
I loved working on this movie.
We had a good time.